Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is Brent Dick here for the game number 4 on the day between the Hillsboro Central Valley Burros and the Midway-Minto Mustangs. So you're at the Enderlin Baseball Classic from Hendrickson Field in Enderlin, North Dakota, just north of Highway 46 and south of the railroad tracks. So pinch between Highway 46 and the railroad tracks here in Enderlin at Hendrickson Field. You have Hillsboro Central Valley. After this weekend's game, so far they're 6-4 in the season. Midway-Minto, according to the North Dakota High School Activities Association website, they're 0-2 on the season. Midway looks like they may have had some games that were weathered out there. Coming into today's contest, they'll have another game following this against the Enderlin Eagles. So Midway looking for a second game following this one against Enderlin. That'll be your 5th and final game of the day. But right now, we're getting set up for Hillsboro Central Valley at 6-4, taking on Midway-Minto Mustangs at 0-2. That game just ahead here with your IRE pregame insurance. Get the insurance protection you want with the customer service you deserve at IRE Insurance. To cover it all from home, auto, crop, commercial, and benefits insurance, go to ireinsurance.com to get a free quote. And looking at your games that transpired the day, started the day at 10:30 a.m., and that was your first game. Kindred Vikings down Hatton Northwood by a score of 7-3 in the opener. Your second game was Oaks Tornadoes over Hatton Northwood by a score of 9-1, and then Hillsboro Central Valley won their first game of the day by a score of 10-5 over the Oaks Tornadoes. They're here for their second contest, their 4th game here at the Enderlin Classic. Right now they're sitting at 2-1 as they picked up wins over Kindred Kindred and Oaks. They dropped a game yesterday to Northern Cass. So those are your game so far for Hillsboro Central Valley here at the IRE Insurance pregame show. We're going to step away, take a word from our sponsors. We'll come back for our American Crystal Sugar starting lineups from Hendrickson Field.
From on-site farm repairs to maintaining the condition of your vehicle, trust the staff at Welton's Tire Service. They've served the Lisbon area since 1972, guaranteeing customers satisfaction and workmanship from farm equipment, tire services, and preventative vehicle maintenance. You'll find it all from affordable prices, free estimates, to their knowledgeable technicians answering any question. Welton's Tire Service is locally owned and located on Main Street in Lisbon. For information, go online to weltonstire.net or call 701-683-5136.
You would never buy a one-size-fits-all shirt, and you should never do so to protect your valuable assets. And we'll find you the right fit for your insurance policies.
Home insurance, auto insurance, commercial insurance, benefits insurance, crop insurance.
We have you covered from head to toe, underground to sky. Experience the difference with IRE. Get the insurance protection you want with the customer service you deserve.
All right, nice segue into our insurance pregame show. Continuing on, looking at Midway-Minto opening up their season at Larimore. They lost their first game of the season by a score of 6-9. And then on 17th April, they played Langdon area Munich and lost that one by a score of 12-0. They had a couple other games against Grafton and then Pembina County North that were scheduled. Just don't have score updates for those. And then they'll have these 2 games today against Hillsboro Central Valley and then Enderlin to close things out for the tournament or the weekend for Midway-Minto. And then Hillsboro Central Valley, coached by Benjamin Strand, they currently sitting at 6-4. Came into the tournament, they were 4-3, or came into the Enderlin Classic, they were 4-3. They're now 6-4. They opened up their season against Park River. At Park River, lost that one by a score of 1-4. Then traveled to Carrington, won that one by a score of 5-4. And then played Velva-Drake Animus, won that by a score of 3-2 on the 15th of April. They lost to Larimore 6-8. 17th of April, they played Mayport CG and won that by a score of 10-1. 21st of April, down Grafton by a score of 5-4. And then lost to Thompson defending state champions by a score of 0-2. And then also picked up a win against Kindred, lost one to Northern Cass in their Enderlin Classic, and now just picked up that win against Oaks by a score of 10-5. So entering this game with Midway-Minto with a record of 6-4 here for your Irie Insurance pregame show. And then going into your American Crystal Sugar starting lineups from American Crystal. Live the sweet life, great careers, quality products, grow our own, crystalsugar.com. And look at Hillsboro Central Valley. Leading off for Hillsboro Central Valley is Tyson LeShook. He is catching. Number 2 batter, Braden Chenol, in center field. Playing shortstop, Chase Haffley. Then at first base is Riley Richter, batting forward, cleanup spot. Bagged at number 5. And pitching is Alexander Duffner. Playing third base, bagged at number 6, Austin Cotton. In left field, bagging number 7, Elijah Smallbreck. And then playing second base, bagging number 8, Hunter Kleckner. And in right field, batting number 9, Tyson Sunby. Those are your starting players and lineup for Hillsboro Central Valley. And then now looking at the Midway-Minto Mustangs. Leading off and playing first base is Andy Pulak. In right field, batting number 2 is Stefano Manata. Playing in center field, batting number 3, Ben Goodahis. Cleanup hitter, playing catcher, is Merrick Osowski. And pitching, the number 5 hitter, Andrew Risk. Batting number 6, the third baseman, Anton Elbrecht. Batting number 7, the left fielder, Glenn Goodsell. Playing shortstop, Blake Lisikowski. Batting number 8 and batting number 9. And playing second base is Aiden English. So those are your starting lineups here for your American Crystal Sugar starting lineups for Midway-Minto in Hillsboro Central Valley. Midway-Minto, home team on the scoreboard. They're taking the field. Wearing the black trousers, the black pinstripe white jerseys. And then Hillsboro Central Valley visitors on the scoreboard. Blue jerseys, white lettering, the gray plants with the blue pinstripe down the side. So those are your starting lineups for both teams here with your American Crystal Sugar starting lineups. So go ahead, step away, take a word from our sponsors, come back for this opening pitch here from Hendrickson Field.
The City of Hillsboro invites you to make Hillsboro your home. If you're looking for a new home or a job, check out the opportunities in Hillsboro and see what the community can offer you and your family. Enjoy a quality family life with community, education, church, entertainment, and more. For all neighbors and those driving through the region, we welcome you to come and shop with the businesses in Hillsboro. If you have questions related to services available in the City of Hillsboro, contact the Hillsboro City Office at 701-636-4620.
Get ready to make a true impact on the farm. Introducing the True Grade pull-type bulldozer blade from Degelman Industries. At 34 inches, the True Grade is the tallest pull-type bulldozer blade in its class. Our streamlined design will make cleaning ditches, grading roads, digging ditches, leveling fields, and moving snow easier and more efficient than ever. The Degelman True Grade, engineered tough. Visit our website for more information.
All right, welcome back here at Enderlin Classic from Hendrickson Field. Conveniently located right off of Highway 46, just north of the railroad tracks. Hillsboro Central Valley leadoff hitter Tyson LeShook going up against Andrew Risk of Midway-Minto, the pitcher. First one's in there for a strike. So the count 0-1. Pitch number 2 outside for a ball. So it's like first pitch is at 3:42, a couple minutes ahead of time. So count 1-1. That's hit down the third base line, foul for strike two. Now the count 1-2 here to Tyson the Shook. That one's grounded to the pitcher. And the put out, the ground out to the pitcher there for Lashuk. So Tyson Lashuk grounds out to the pitcher. Brings up the number 2 hitter in the center fielder, Braden Chenot. Risk delivers high fastball for ball 1. So 1-0 count. Ricks fires it in there, same thing, high fastball. Now 2-0. Ricks fires it in there. A little off speed. Gets Chenot swinging, so 2-1 count here for Risk against Braden Chenot. Chenot coming off a great wrestling season for Hillsboro Central Valley. Out here on the baseball field. A multi-sport athlete for Hillsboro Central Valley. That one's grounder down the first base line. Gets by the first baseman, Andy Pulak. So base hit off the backhand. So Chenot with the base hit down the first base line. Backhander by Pulak, couldn't get a handle on it. So 1 aboard. One aboard, 1 down. The pick off over there from the pitcher, Andrew Risk, not in time. Pulak dives back in. Number 3 hitter, Chase Halfley. Your shortstop for Hillsboro Central Valley. That count now is 1-0 to Halfley. Here's Andrew Risk out of the stretch, fires it in there. Another high fastball for ball 2. 2-0 count. So first pitch at 3:42, temperature around 59 degrees, and the winds out of the southeast at 18 miles an hour. They've died down a little bit since they're high of right around 20, 22 miles an hour here on Hendrickson Field out of the southeast. That one's popped up down the first base line. Foul territory. First baseman drifts over, reels it in there. That was a 3-0 count. And Halfley swung on it and pops out. So runner still on first. That's Braden Chenot with the single. Pop out by Halfley. Facing the cleanup hitter now, Riley Richter. Another pickoff attempt by the pitcher, Andrew Risk. Risk takes the sign from the catcher. Fires it across the plate. Another high fastball for ball 1. 1-0 count. Steps back in. Looks like Chenot with about a 3-step lead. Takes a couple more hops. Fires it in there. Ball 2. So 2-0 count from Risk to Riley Richter, the number 4 hitter for Hillsboro Central Valley. Chenot with a big lead. Ball 3, 3-0. So runner on first. We got 2 outs. And fires it in there for strike 1. So 3-1. Runner on first. Andrew Risk from the stretch. Runner goes. Throw to second. And not in time as Chenot gets in there safely. So Chenot advances to second. So Richter on first. This is number 5 hitter, Alexander Duffner, the pitcher, wearing the number 9 jersey. That count, 1-0 count. Risk fires it to the first baseman, reaches up, drags it in there. So the fly out to first by Duffner. So no damage after giving up that base hit to Braden Chenot. Chenot makes his way to second after a walk to Riley Richter after he steals it, then a walk to Richter. So Hillsboro Central Valley leaves 2 on base going to the bottom of the first inning. Midway-Minto up to bat.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
All right, welcome back to Hendrickson Field for the Enderlin Classic. Going to the bottom of the first inning. And looking on the mound for Hillsboro Central Valley, Alexander Duffner for Hillsboro. Just going back over that defensive positioning for Hillsboro Central Valley. Duffner pitching, Leshuk is catching. Richter at first, Kleckner at second, Halfley at shortstop, Cotton at third base, and then your outfielders is Smallbeck, Chenot, and Sunby. And leading off for Midway-Minto, we'll have Andy Pulak. Pulak stepping up to the plate. You're behind the plate. The umpire behind the plate looks like it's Scott Carblum calling balls and strikes here for a 4th game. Pulak left-handed batter. For Midway-Minto. Duffner's first pitch. Fires it in there for ball 1. To Pulak. Like an off-speed pitch there from Duffner. Duffner comes back. A little low and outside for ball number 2 to Andy Pulak. Leadoff hitter for Midway-Minto. So Duffner working out of the windup. Fires it across the plate, strike 1. So now the count. 2 balls and 1 strike on Andy Pulak. Duffner from the windup, throws it in there. Pulak makes contact down the first base line. First baseman Richter fields it, steps on the bag for out number 1.
And next to bat, number 12, Estefano Mancada.
So ground out to the first baseman for Andy Pulak, leading things off for Midway-Minto. That's the first out. Near the bottom of the first inning, Duffner facing his second batter. This is Estefano Manada. Playing right field for Midway-Minto. 1-0 count. Second pitch to Manada is a ball in the dirt. Now the count 2-0 from Duffner. Duffner from the windup with the 2-0 delivery inside for ball number 3-0. 3-0 count. Batter takes it to the outside for ball number 4. So Estefano Manata on base with the walk. Manata draws the walk. Looks like we have time there. Called by the official in the field, Pat Adair. So Carbone behind the plate, Adair in the field for the umpires. Here's Ben Gadehis, number 3 hitter, playing center field for Midway-Minto. Takes that first pitch, pops it up behind home plate. The catcher's chasing it, and out of play. It's the backside of the stands behind home plate for strike 1. So Duffner back out of on the mound, works out of the stretch now, runner on first base. Takes about a 3-step lead for Manata. That ball's in the dirt. It's like ball 1, so count 1-1, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here for Duffner. Duffner on the stretch. Got the inside of the plate for a strike. Now the count 1-2. Here against Ben Gadehis from Midway-Minto. Center fielder. On base is Estefano Manata. Drew a walk, 4-pitch walk from Duffner. I'll count 2-2, 2 balls, 2 strikes from Duffner. Works out of the stretch, checks the runner. Little soft throw over to first base. So he almost didn't throw it. Didn't want to get called for the balk. Was able to get that ball out of his hand. Duffner with the delivery, makes contact to the shortstop. Deep in the hole, fires across his body to first and safe. So base hit. Runner advances. Manata to second. Base hit for Ben Gadehis on the 2-2 pitch. So he singles deep in the hole to short. So 1 out. Runners on first and second. So Manata draws the walk, advances to second. Off the infield single by Ben Gadehis. Now Merrick Kosowski, the cleanup hitter, steps up. The catcher. First pitch is a strike. Well, that's good news for Duffner. Finally able to work ahead of the batter now with the 0-1 count. Runners on first and second. Contact down the third base line, foul by Merrick Kosowski. So Gadehis on first. Contact here by Kosowski. Dribbler it over to the second baseman. Has trouble getting a handle on it. Not able to control it. Runners advance. So an error by the second baseman. Advances Manata over to third. Gadehis takes second. So I'm going to say an E4 on that. And base is loaded, 1 out. Number 5 batter Andrew Risk, the pitcher, up. Makes contact high, pop fly to center field. See, the runners are holding, and able to reel it in is the center fielder, Braden Chenot. Comes in on it. Almost a collision out there with the shortstop. Center fielder, the outfielders have the right of way coming in. So Chenot was able to reel that one in for 2 outs. Base is still loaded on the fly out to center field for the second out. Looks like a ball here to the number 6 hitter, Anton Elbrecht. Elbrecht makes contact to the third baseman. He's going to fire across the first for the out. And that'll do it. 3 away on the ground out to the third baseman there. Anton Elbrock grounds out. They strand 3 runners here for Midway-Minto at the bottom of the first inning, going into the second, top of 2, or going in the top of the second inning. We're still scoreless here from Hendrickson Field.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsboro, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
At Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks, they make sure your vehicle gets the best standard of care to get it back on the road as quickly as possible. Lonnie and his team are some of the most highly trained in the industry. With state-of-the-art technology and superior products, your vehicle will leave in great condition. With their drive-in claims area, the process is smooth and easy. Let Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks provide you and your vehicle with premium care and attention. Open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. Abra Auto Body and Glass of Grand Forks.
All right, welcome back to Hendrickson Field at yourliveevent.com at the Enderlin Baseball Classic. Our 4th game of the afternoon between Hillsboro Central Valley and Midway-Minto, going to the top of the second inning. Leading off for Hillsboro Central Valley will be the third baseman, Austin Cotton. So Hillsboro in that first inning, they stranded 2 runners. Braden Schnoll with the 1 hit, with the single. So Austin Cotton comes to the plate in the second inning. Andrew Risk for Midway-Minto on the mound, going out of the windup. And the delivery, first pitch swing and a foul down the third base line. Right to the third base, or right to Benjamin Strand over there. Not able to reel that one in there. Over there, the third base coach. So strike 1 on Cotton. Now strike 2, 0-2 count. Scott, the outside corner of the plate. Here's the second inning. Risk fires across the plate. That's well hit by Cotton to right field, right to the right fielder. They're coming in playing shallow. Was Manata. So a fly out for out number 1 to the right fielder. So first pitch in there to the number 7 hitter, Elijah Smallbeck, is in for a strike. So Risk doing a good job working ahead of the batters. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. Risk from the stretch. Back to the windup. So 2-1-2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's contact by Smallbeck down to the third baseman. Fields it. First baseman with the stretch to the near side, able to reel that ball in for out number 2. So infield ground out to the third baseman. So the ground out to third. Second out. The inning for Hillsboro. Brings up the number 8 hitter, Hunter Kleckner. Kleckner takes that first pitch for a strike. So Risk doing another good job working ahead to the batter. Fires a second one. This ball well hit right center field. This one's going back, gets into the gap. So this is a gapper. Chasing it over is center fielder Goodahys, and a stand-up double there for Hunter Kleckner. With 2 outs, so Kleckner with the 2-out stand-up double. Trying to get things going, a little 2-out rally going here for Hillsboro Central Valley. Went scoreless through the first inning. Now with a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And Risk fires it in there for a ball. from the stretch. Now 1 ball, 1 strike here to Tyson Sunby, the number 9 hitter for Hillsboro Central Valley. 2 outs, runner on second. Riss fires it in there. That ball hit. Little dribbler to the second baseman, slow roller, fires from the shortstop. He misses it, overthrows him, so an error on the throw. Run will score. So Kleckner comes around. So we'll give him E6. And then Sunby will go to second. The run scores. So Kleckner with this stand-up double comes around to score. So 1-0 is your score. That's a well-hit ball here to right field. Popped up over the right fielder's head. That's down to the right field corner. So heading for 3. That's your leadoff hitter, Tyson Lashuk. Lashuk, stand-up triple, run scores. So Tyson Sunby comes around to score. So now your score 2-0. Your Braden Chenault, the number 2 hitter, coming up. 2 outs, 2-out rally. So now the count 0-1 here to Chenault. Chenault, first time up with a single in the first inning. Swing and a miss for strike 2. That's a well-hit ball to center field. Runner from third will come around to score. Chenault with the single up the middle. So the 2-out rally continues. Now the score is 3-0. And risk now with the 1-0 count to Chase Halfley, the number 3 hitter for Hillsboro Central Valley. Risk fires across high, fastball for ball number 2. 2-0 count. Chenault slides safely back into first after the pickoff attempt by Andrew Risk. So Chase Halfley with the 2-0 count. 2 outs, runner on first. Hillsboro Central Valley knocking across 3 runs in the top of the second inning. Now 3-0. 3-0 pitch, another pickoff attempt. Checks the runner. First baseman puts on the tag. Chenault back up on his feet, takes his 2-step lead. Now stretches it out to 3. Takes off on the 4-0 count. And draws the walk there is Chase Halfley. So Chenault goes to second. And looks like we do have a mound visit coming up here for Andrew Risk by Midway-Minto. So look at our Noack Insurance Brad Richter timeout for all your insurance questions. See Trail County's agents with the answers. Agent Brad Richter in Hillsboro and sales associate Nick Preston in Mayville. So as the Midway-Minto Mustangs kind of sorted out on the mounds, it's a 3-0 lead for Hillsboro Central Valley, as they sent their first 2 batters to the plate in the top of the second inning for outs number 1 and 2, and then it was a double, stand-up double by Hunter Kleckner, and an E6 to Tyson Sunby. And then in the stand-up triple by Tyson Lashuk, driving in 2 runs, and now a single by Braden Chenault with an RBI single, driving in Tyson Lashuk. And Chase Halfley with the 4-pitch walk, and now Chenault takes off. It's a hit and run Small dribbler to the shortstop. He's going to fire across his body in. Not in time. Now a throw over to third. So an RBI. As Chenault comes home. Another shot deep to the hole. And Chase Halfley will advance to third. So we got runners at first and third. Still 2 outs. So your score now 4-0. And there is a pitching change, so another timeout and mound visit, second mound visit of the evening here with your Brad Richter timeout, Kodak Insurance timeout. And let's see. Looks like they're pulling somebody off the bench here for Midway-Minto. Looks like Anton Albrecht coming in to pitch, number 5. So he was a third baseman, so Anton Albrecht will come in to pitch. So Albrecht in to pitch. Runners at the corner, so Risk responsible now for the 4 runs across the plate and 2 runners at the corners on first and third. So Halfley, the number 3 batter, made it around to third, and then Riley Richter with that infield single. Is at first base here for Hillsboro Central Valley. So Richter gets the RBI. You're knocking in Braden Chenault. So Albrecht in to pitch. That first one falls in for a ball, so it looks like a 1-0 count now to the number 5 hitter, Alexander Duffner. Duffner, the pitcher, number 5 facing number 5, or excuse me, number 9 facing number 5. Here with Albrecht on the mound for Midway-Minto, coming in relief from third base. Another ball, so a 2-0 count here to Duffner. Hillsboro Central Valley with the 2-out rally. Now up 4-0, runners at the corners. Draws the walk. Here's Duffner. So Duffner goes to first. Richter to second. Halfley stays at third. Little check swing, dribbler down the first base line, fielded by the first baseman. Andy Pulak steps on the bag for the out, for the 4th out. There for Austin Cotton, a number 6 hitter. So that'll do it as Hillsboro Central Valley sends up 10 to the plate. They score 4 runs and leave 3 on base. That was at the top of the 2nd inning. We'll go ahead, step away, take a word from our sponsors, come back for the bottom of the 2nd. For Midway-Minto, leading off will be the left fielder, Glenn Goodsoe.
Grow with us. Build with us. Ada Building Center, LLC. They offer estimates and drafting on homes, houses, shops, lake cabins, garages, and more. From start to finish, Thank you for choosing Ada Building Center, LLC for your building material needs. 218-784-3661. Ada Building Center, LLC, Highway 200 East Edge, Ada. To see their latest building projects, visit their Facebook page.
What's going on today?
I've got a planter in the shop, and I had the guys from Agassiz Precision Ag come over and do an inspection.
You upgrading systems or working on maintenance?
Both, actually. We walked some fields last summer and found areas where we can improve. So we are installing Delta Force and some new opening discs.
I bet we're in the same boat. I should give them a call.
Yep, they'll come out and look over the planter with you and put a plan together. They are the guys I go to for answers.
Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Call 701-636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
Ag Country offers a wide range of internal growth.
All right, welcome back to Hendrickson Field and from Enderlin, North Dakota. Leading off here for Midway-Minto Mustangs is the left fielder Glenn Goodsell. On the mound is Duffner for Hillsboro Central Valley. Second pitch, second 0 or 2-0 count here to Goodsell. So count 2-0 here from Duffner to Goodsell. Duffner works from the windup, fires across the plate, and looks like it was high, fastball high for a 3-0. So now behind the runner, 3-0. See if the batter takes all the way here with that 3-0 count. Duffner fires it in there, crossed and now in the middle of the plate for strike one. Now 3-1 count here to Glenn Goodsell for Midway-Minto, leading off the bottom of the second inning. That's in the dirt for ball 4, so Goodsell's aboard as he's walked. Brings up the number 8 hitter, Blake Lisakowski, the shortstop. Well, first inning for Midway-Minto, they left two runners on. That ball chopped down the third base line, foul here by Blake Lisakowski. So you count no balls, 1 strike. Duffner works from the stretch, runner on first. Here's Glenn Goodsell. And pickoff attempt from Duffner over to Richter. Richter tosses it back to Duffner. Duffner works out of the stretch. Runner takes about a 3-step lead. Duffner fires across the plate, swing and a miss. There for Blake Lisakowski. So count, 0-2 count here to Lisakowski. He's down here. Duffner working ahead of the runner. There, pickoff attempt. And sliding back in is Glenn Goodsell. Goodsell drew the walk. Let's look at Hillsboro Central Valley that last inning. Looks like they picked up 4 hits. Had a double by Kleckner, triple by Lashuk, Schnell with a single, and an infield signal by Richter. Ball, so we count now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here to Blake Lisakowski. Duffner checks the runner at first. That's a good sell. From the stretch, fires across below the knees for ball 2. So count now 2-2. Nobody out, so their leadoff batter here in the bottom of the second makes it aboard. That ball hit to right field down the line, just fair. It's going to go into the corner there. The right fielder chasing it down. Runner's going from second to third. He's waved in. They're going to hold him up at third base. The ball still waiting for it to come in, but a double going out there for Blake Lisakowski. Hits it down the right field line, gets into the corner. So runner Glenn Goodsell goes around to third, and Lisakowski with the stand-up double. Here Duffner fires it in there for swinging strike there on Aiden English. The number 9 hitter. So good production there out of your number 8 hitter, Blake Lisakowski, coming up with a double. Stand-up double to right field. It's count now 1-1, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here Duffner out of the stretch. Contact there, goes slow roller to the second baseman, checks the runner, and sliding home from third is Goodsell on the fielder's choice. So Goodsell makes it home. And then Lisakowski advances to third, so a run across the plate. Score 4-1 with the runner at third and 1 out. That brings up your leadoff hitter. So Andy Pulak, left-handed hitter, down on the count now, 0-1 to Duffner. Pulak fouls it off for strike 2. So an RBI on the fielder's choice. It's going to Aiden English. So 1 out. Top of the order, Pulak hits a high fly ball. This one's trouble. Center fielder's coming in. They're trying to track it down. It's going to drop in front of the center fielder. Coming from third, the play at home, not in time. So that is Blake Lisakowski and a single for Pulak. With an RBI for Andy Pulak. He was down in the count. That brings up Estefano Manada, and your right fielder, number 2 batter. So score now 4-2. Runner on first with 1 out. Pulak with the single. Manada chases that one down and away. So your count 1-1. From the stretch. That's fouled off by Manada. Now a 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pulak at first. Pickoff attempt by the pitcher. Just checks the runner. Pulak back in time. So count 1-2, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Estefano Manada. That's high fastball. Count now 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here from Duffner. Duffner out of the stretch. Fires it across. That's low. And a strikeout swinging there for Manada. Well, the first strikeout for Midway-Minto and the first strikeout for Duffner on the mound. So we got 2 outs. Check the runner at first. Pulak gets back in time. It brings up the number 3 hitter, Ben Gadehes, your center fielder for Midway-Minto. Duffner from the stretch. Big lead by Pulak. That's high fly ball. Back behind the second baseman, tracking it down, able to reel it in for out number 3. So fly out to second for the 3rd out. And that'll do it for the bottom of the 2nd inning, going to the top of 3. That'll bring up the number 7 hitter for Hillsboro Central Valley, Elijah Smallbeck. So Smallbeck due up here in the top of the 3rd inning for Hillsboro Central Valley. At the end of the 2nd inning, Midway-Minto on the board now. The score 4-2 as they pick up a double by Blake Lisakowski, or it's good, led off with a walk by Glenn Goodsell, double by Blake Lisakowski. And then an RBI and a fielder's choice knocked in Glenn Goodsell by Aiden English. And then an RBI single by Andy Pulak brought in Blake Lisakowski. So Goodsell and Lisakowski coming across the plate for your 2 runs there for Midway-Minto. And we're going to step away, take a word from our sponsors, and come back for the top of the 3rd inning.
Your successes can be endless.
There are so many jobs within this company that you can rotate into.
I like challenges. Egg Country gives me challenges.
Yeah, Egg Country is a great place to work. There's plenty of flexibility. You're never tied to your desk. There's a team here that is always there for you.
Yeah, grab your role and run with it. And always be aware of the opportunities because they're in front of you.
All right, welcome back to your liveevent.com. Top of the 3rd inning. Here's your Bank North scoreboard. Our score is now 4-2. Here for Bank North, your trusted financial partner for generations. Visit banknorth.bank. Bank North member FDIC and equal housing lender. That first pitch from Albrecht in relief for Risk to Smallbeck. Goes in there for a strike. Pops it up down the right, or down the 3rd base line. Third baseman drifts over there and catches it in front of the concession stands. Thought that one was going to get out, but kind of blown back in by the wind. So a fly out by Smallbeck. The leadoff batter here in the top of the 3rd for Hillsboro Central Valley records the first out. So Hillsboro doing all their damage in the 2nd inning with that 2-out rally. And that was started by the number 8 hitter, Hunter Kleckner, currently up at the plate. Kleckner picked up a double to lead things off with that 2-out rally. That pitch by Albrecht is outside and hits the backstop for ball 1. Albrecht fires it in there inside, ball 2. Albrecht fires it across. Looks like a strike right across the letters. So 2-1 count here to Hunter Kleckner. Kleckner 1 for 1. That's in the dirt. And draws the walk as a pitch behind there. So draws the walk there for Kleckner. He'll go to first on the walk, as he was able to start the rally in the 2nd inning for Hillsboro Central Valley. Makes it to base, so he's safely on base twice. Doubled in the 2nd inning, now draws a walk in the 3rd. That pitch fired in there for a strike there to Tyson Sunby. So Sunby down early in the count, 0-1. An 0-1 bunt put down by Sunby. Fielder's choice by the pitcher goes to second for the out. That's the 2nd out. Runner in scoring position as Kleckner will advance on the sacrifice by Sunby. Brings up the top of the order now with Tyson Lashuk. Lashuk with a stand-up triple in the 2nd inning. Knocked in a run. And then a ground out in the 1st inning, so he's 1 for 2 in the game. That first pitch to Lashuk is a strike. Drops in for a strike from Albrecht. Albrecht fires it in there. And going off speed, just couldn't find the handle on that. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. So 2 outs. Runner on second. Big lead over there on second. That ball well hit. Right, left center fielder, brought in by the center fielder. He's called off. And that is 3 outs for Midway-Minto, as Hillsboro Central Valley will strand 1 out at second. That was Hunter Kleckner as he led things off for getting on base with that walk. But Tyson Lashuk flies out to center field That'll bring us to the bottom of the third inning here for Midway-Minto. And that looks like Merrick Kosowski, the cleanup hitter, will lead things off in the bottom of the third for Midway-Minto.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
All right, welcome back to Hendrickson Field for the Enderlin Baseball Classic. Brings up the bottom of the third inning here for Midway-Minto. So leading things off, the number 2 batter in the order, Estefano Manada. Or excuse me, the number 4 hitter, the cleanup hitter, Merrick Kosowski. That second pitch from Duffner still in there for Hillsboro Central Valley, and now the count 2-0. For Duffner. That swung on, high pop fly going to left center fielder, drifting over to the left fielder, Smallbreck, and he's able to reel that in for the first out. So a fly out by Osowski to left field for the first out. Duffner here now facing Andrew Risk. Risk with the grounder to the third base side. Pick up a base hit for Risk. So Risk, the number 5 hitter on base. With the single, bottom of the third inning. So runner at first with 1 out. Here Duffner from the stretch. High fastball. So Anton Elbrecht, the number 6 hitter, takes the first pitch for a ball. So 1-0 count. Risk with about a 2-step lead over there at first. Ball outside on Elbrecht. So 2-0 count to Anton Elbrecht. Elbrecht came in relief pitching in that second inning. That's a wild pitch, gets away from the catcher. Runner advances to second with 1 out. So the runner advanced on the wild pitch by Duffner. Runner in scoring position with 1 out here. Alton Albrecht now 3-0 is the count. 3-0 count. In the dirt, draws the walk. And you may see a mound visit coming up here shortly. So runners on first and second with 1 out. Albrecht struggling a little bit with his control. Osowski led things off for Midway-Minto, flew out to left center. First pitch to the number 7 hitter, Glenn Goodsells, in there for a ball. Well, looks like 5 consecutive pitches here for balls for Duffner. That swung on, and a strike here for Goodsell. So runners on first and second, 1 out, bottom of the third inning. Duffner on the mound, working onto the stretch. Fires it in there, that's fouled off. Back behind home plate on the third base side. So 1-2's your count on Goodsell. Duffner trying to work his way out of a jam. Runners on first and second. It's a 2-strike swing, and going to turn to the double play is the Hillsboro Central Valley Burros, as Halfley scoops it up, steps on second, fires across to the first baseman for the double play there. Glenn Goodsell to hit into the double play. Duffner works his way out of the jam, so no runs and 2 runners left on base for Hillsboro Central Valley. As we go to the top of the 4th inning, or top of the 4th inning for Hillsboro Central Valley, as they will have Braden Chenot coming up to the plate near the top of the 4th inning.
Has provided me with so many opportunities. Whether you're into sports, the arts, or any other activities, there's something for every student to get involved in, and the teachers are pretty cool. I'm Lex Ellingson, a senior at Hillsboro High School. My favorite thing at Hillsboro High School is hanging out with my teammates after school, because it's helped me grow as a person and have fun in my community. Find your favorite at Hillsboro Central Valley Schools. This message is from Hillsboro and Central Valley School Districts.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsboro. You can see the latest inventory online at bloomfieldtrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsboro.
Hey, welcome back here, Hendrickson Field, and going into the top of the 4th inning, leading off for Hillsboro Central Valley, Braden Chenot. Chenot 2 for 2 on the day. That ball, pitch falls in there for a strike. Chenot down early. 3rd plate appearance. 0-1, the pitch by Albrecht. Count now 1-1. Little off-speed pitch by Albrecht. Albrecht from the windup, fouled off by Chenot. Now 1-2 is your count. Fouled off behind home plate. Albrecht looking for the sign. He shakes it off. No, goes to the windup. Fires it across. That's outside. Ball 2. Count now 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Braden Chenot. Albrecht coming in relief in that 2nd inning. That ball fouled off by Chenot. Back over the press box here on the first base side. Count still 2-2. Nobody out. Chenot leading things off. Top of the 4th inning. A little off speed. Here by Pulak, he misses, so he count now, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch by Albrecht. That's a well-hit ball, deep right center field. Center fielder has to go back, hits the fence. He's going to throw it into the second baseman, but stand-up double for Braden Chenot. So Chenot going 3 for 3 on the day. 2 singles and now a double. With nobody out, leading things off in the top of the 4th inning for Hillsboro Central Valley. Here's Albrecht, a runner in scoring position, nobody out. Pitching to Chase Halfley, gets it in there for a strike. So now working out of the stretch here for Albrecht. Checks the runner at second, fires it in there, pop fly. This one's a little bit of trouble. Center field or right fielder's coming in. Second baseman able to go out there and snag it. So English drifts over into shallow right field. Records the out, so the fly out by Halfley forces Chenot to stay at second base. So 1 out And a runner on second. So Braden Snow on second. Brings up the number 4 hitter, the cleanup hitter, Riley Richter. And that goes across for a strike. So Albrecht doing a good job again getting in front of the batters here with the 0-1 count. So 1 down. And that ball high and inside for a ball, now 1-1. And that ball, a little soft grounder to the third baseman, fires across over to first. Now Chenot takes off to third. Nobody covering over there, as the shortstop wasn't able to get back over there and cover third base. So Chenot will advance on the fielder's choice, the put out at first. So there are 2 away. But Chenot will go to third with 2 down here on the fielder's choice. The ground out. That ball hit into center field. They're going back to the fence, and Chenot comes around to score. And the double for Alexander Duffner. Hits it on the first pitch. So that'll bring up Austin Cotton, the number 6 hitter. Cotton, his first time up, flew out to left field. He led things off in the second inning. Big lead over there for Duffner. Ball fired across, strike, 1 ball and 1 strike here to Cotton. Albrecht fires it across, working out of the stretch. That takes it high for ball 2. So 2-1's the count. Your score 5-2. Now Chenot comes around and scores off a double. That ball fouled off down the third base line. Out of play. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Cotton. So Duffner with the big lead over at second, takes a couple more hops. That ball down in the dirt, swung on and fouled off by Austin Cotton. Still 2-2 the count. So Chenot led things off, going 3 for 3 on the day so far, working on your Enbridge Energy Player of the Game with the leadoff double. Came around to score off a stand-up double by Alexander Duffner with the RBI double. Halfley and Richter. Halfley flew out. And then a ground out by Richter for the 2 outs. Chenot takes off down to third. The throw in time, but just not on the mark. As he draws the walk here for Cotton. So Cotton with the walk. Duffner goes over to third. So runners at the corners, 2 outs. So it brings up the 7 batter, Elijah Smallbeck. Smallbeck playing left field. First pitch swinging for a strike. 0-1 count. Runners at the corner with 2 outs. Near Albrecht. They're stretching out that arm a little bit, trying to loosen it up. Albrecht with the pitch. Runner takes off from first. That's popped up behind home plate. The catcher's chasing it down and not able to get to it as the runner took off from first. There was Cotton. So we should be 0-2, 1-2 the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Elijah Smallbeck. Runner takes off again. Throw down. And the catcher throws her down to third base. Faked the throw to second, then threw down to third. Duffner able to get back. So now the runners on second and third. 5-2 score. That ball popped up down the first base side and out of bounds, or foul ball by Smallbeck, staying alive. Still 2-2 count. Smallbeck goes down low, digs that out of the dirt. Falls it off behind home plate. Now it's still at 2-2. Albrecht back out of the stretch. Fires it high for ball 3. So now 3-2, loads it up on Smallbeck. Has 2 outs, runners at second and third. That's strike 3, punches him out, looking there for the backwards K. For Albrecht, so that's 3 outs going into the bottom of the 4th inning. As Hillsboro Central Valley plates a run, Breen Chenot coming across off of that RBI double by Alexander Duffner. And that'll bring us to the bottom of the 4th inning, 5-2 in favor of Hillsboro Central Valley.
Local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Central Valley Bean Cooperative in Buxton, North Dakota has adapted to the growing needs of the edible bean industry since 1982. Production of edible beans helps many growers in the Red River Valley make their farming operation more profitable. These growers are also producing a nutritious, high-protein food source, helping feed a hungry world. Central Valley Bean Cooperative in Buxton, with receiving stations in Sharon, Larimore, Devils Lake, Wilton, Washburn, Lincoln, East Grand Forks, Grafton, and Garski. Learn more at centralvalleybean.com or 701-847-2622.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land.
All right, welcome back to Hendrickson Field, the bottom of the 4th inning. And leading things off for Midway-Minto Mustangs, Blake Lisakowski. Lisakowski, first time up with a double. That ball fouled off behind home plate. So 0-1 now to Lisakowski, right-handed batter. So Duffner starting the 4th inning. That ball down in the dirt for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lisakowski leading things off. The bottom of the 4th inning for Midway-Minto. Duffner fires it in there inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2-1. 5-2 score. Duffner, that one's fouled off by Lisakowski. Now 2-2's the count. 2 balls, 2 strike. That one fouled off over the announcing booth here down the first base line. Duffner delivers out of the windup, and that's ball 3. Loads it up. Now 3-2 count. Here to Blake Lisakowski. Duffner steps back on out of the windup. Fires it across. That's strike 3. Gets him looking.
Number 28 in English up the bat.
So strikeout. That's number 2 in the game for Duffner for the first out. So second strikeout for Duffner. Ball got loose for a second on the field. Your number 9 hitter Aiden English is up. Second baseman. That's inside for ball one. So 1 ball, 1 strike to English. Wind up, and the delivery is inside for another ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Duffner fires it in there inside. 3 balls, 1 strike, just missing off the off speed in the inside corner. So 3-1 count. Duffner out puts that one in the dirt in front of the plate. English draws the 5-pitch walk there. Makes it down to the first base. With 1 out, the strikeout by Lisakowski leading things off. Now runner aboard for Midway-Minto. Brings the top of the lineup, Andy Pulak. Pulak with an RBI single in the 2nd inning. And then ground out in the first on the first baseman here for Pulak. Going 1 for 2. And runner goes, a throw down there, not in time as it gets by the shortstop. So Andrew English into second. Count now 2-0 here to Pulak. Duffner steps off, walks around. Pulak, left-handed batter, with the 2-0 count. Big lead there at second for English. Goes back there. Now 3-0. Second baseman back with another big lead. Draws the 4-pitch walk here for Andy Pulak. So Pulak now runners at first and second. So 2 walks given up in a row now by Duffner. With 1 out, Duffner steps back on the mound, working from the stretch. This is Estefana Manada. Drills that down the third base line, and that's fair. Here comes English around to score. So English scores, runners at first and second there. The single by Manada. Off the first pitch. So a run scores. And looks like we do have time called. So another timeout here for your Brad Richter Nodak Insurance timeout. In the circle for all your insurance questions, see Trail County's agents with the answers. Agent Brad Richter in Hillsboro and sales associate Nick Preston in Mayville. So your score now 5-3. Try to get things caught up. On our scoreboard with our runners. So that was an RBI single by Manada. He's at first. Pulak goes to second off. He drew a walk. And then Aiden English comes around to score. English drew a walk. Second hitter, second batter of the inning for Midway-Minto. Blake Lisakowski led things off with a strikeout. English and Pulak draw back-to-back walks, and then an RBI single down the third base line. Just hit the line for Manada. Drives in a run. Right now, Midway-Minto with runners back in scoring position. There's a pitcher change for Hillsboro Central Valley. So Hillsboro brings in Griffin Mitzel. So Mitzel in the game for Duffner. He goes 3 1/3 innings for Duffner. Mitzel in the game. number 11 into pitch. Duffner goes 3 1/3 innings. Gives up 3 runs. Runners at first and second. That gets by the shortstop. Runner's going to come around to score from second. Not in time. Runner from first going to third. They're going to catch up the runners here. We'll see. They're going to go with the runner stranded at second with a little hot box. Ball gets away from the second baseman. Now fires it over to the catcher and takes him out. Waiting for the call by the official, and he is out. So it records the second out for out number 2. There's a whole lot of base running going on there. The run does score. So we have a runner at second. They did have runners at first and second. Runner from second came around to score. So Gadehe's knocks in a run. He's on second. Manada had the RBI single. He was thrown out. That ball loses the handle on the third baseman. He's going to run back to Gadehe's. Gadehe's, no, drops the ball. So the third baseman drops the ball on the tag. So Osowski gets on base. Now Gadehe's over on third. Runners on first and third. So at the corners. So Mitzel into pitch. Hillsboro Central Valley finding themselves in a little bit of trouble down. Runner in scoring position over at third. So runners at the corner. Brings up Andrew Risk. Risk starting pitcher for Midway-Minto. 0-1's the count. So now that count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Andrew Risk. Runners at the corner, the 1-2 pitch. That's in the dirt. Catcher able to keep it in front of him. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Andrew Risk. That's well hit there to the second baseman, or shortstop loses the handle on it, flips it to the second baseman for the force out. So good recovery, heads up play by the shortstop, recording that third out, but lost the handle on it. Able to get that third out, so throws out Osowski. But Midway-Minto able to get a run across the plate. Now your score 5-4. Heading into the top of the 5th inning with Hillsboro Central Valley coming up to bat. That's the number 8 hitter, Hunter Kleckner, coming up in the top of the 5th inning.
Provides free detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
The City of Hillsboro invites you to make Hillsboro your home. If you're looking for a new home or a job, check out the opportunities in Hillsboro and see what the community can offer you and your family. Enjoy a quality family life with community, education, church, entertainment, and more. For all neighbors and those driving through the region, we welcome you to come and shop with the businesses in Hillsboro. If you have questions related to services available in the City of Hillsboro, contact the Hillsboro City Office at 701-636-4620.
All right, welcome back to Hendrickson Field. And Midway-Minto with another run across the plate. Now it's score 5-4. Going into the top of the 5th inning. It looks like we do have a new pitcher in there for Midway-Minto. Number 32. So Andy Pulak, the first baseman, comes over to pitch. That's Pulak. So Albrecht pitches 3 innings. Now Pulak comes in to close things out here in the 5th. Pulak into pitch. And let's see. Ben Gadehi's goes over to first. So let's see. So Gadehi's was center field. And looks like Risk. So Risk is out in center field now. And then Albrecht back over to third. Albrecht started the game at third, came in relief of Risk. So Albrecht back over to third base. So Albrecht's at third, Risk in center field. Gadehi's over to first, and Pulak into pitch. Pulak goes from first to pitcher for Midway-Minto. Leading things off, Hillsboro Central Valley in the top of the fifth inning. Here's Hunter Kleckner. Kleckner with a double and a walk. Kleckner first pitch swinging and a strike. So 0-1 count here to Hunter Kleckner on the delivery from Pulak. Pulak from the windup, left-handed pitcher. Bats left and throws left. Now up in the count, 0-2 here to Kleckner. Fires that one in there high for a ball. So the count now 1-2. Pulak from the windup hits the batter. Hunter Kleckner. Kleckner getting on board for his third time, this time hit by pitch. Had a double in the second inning and then drew a walk in the third inning. Now hit by pitch, safely on board once again. So runner at first. Here's Pulak. Checks the runner at first. The delivery, strike, fastball down the middle. Tyson Sunby, the number 9 batter, couldn't catch up with that. Fastball by Pulak. So 1 strike. No balls there. And that's strike number 2. Same pitch. Fastball down the middle. This time a little bit high. No balls and 2 strikes. Kleckner about a 3-step lead off of first. That's low. And punches him out down across the knees. And then strikeout looking. For Tyson Sunby, brings up the top of the order. Tyson Lashuk, the catcher. So top of the 5th with 1 out. Runner at first base, that's Hunter Kleckner. It's 0-1 your count here to Tyson Lashuk. Pulak with the delivery down the first base line, fouled off and out of play. So no balls, 2 strikes here to Tyson Lashuk. Pulak with the delivery to the second base or shortstop for the double play. Midway-Minto turns 2, preserve that score 5-4 on the double play. So the 6-4-3 double play for Midway-Minto shuts down Hillsboro Central Valley in the top of the 5th inning. Bring us to the bottom of 5. Midway-Minto up to bat.
Connects your operation with first-hand expertise and industry-best precision ag technology from Ag Leader. We've simplified precision farming with powerful tools to maximize profit opportunities like never before. No matter the size of your farm or the complexity of your field activities, Cutting Edge Ag is your local partner for a more profitable future. Unlock a new era of farming success with Ag Leader and Cutting Edge Ag.
At Dakota Heritage Bank, we know your schedules can get hectic, and you don't always have time to get to the bank during regular banking hours. We make it easy for you with mobile banking, online banking, and bill pay services that we offer for free. This is Michelle with Dakota Heritage Bank, inviting you to do your banking with us anytime, anywhere. Just go to dhb.bank or download the mobile app for convenient on-the-go banking, serving you with locations across North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota. Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Get ready to make a true impact on the farm. Introducing the HDSR series of staggered rippers from Degelman Industries. At the heart of the machine is the HDSR's staggered two-row setup, which allows for better trash flow and lower draft than an inline ripper. Featuring a shorter implement contour length, easier transport, and better compaction shattering ability than the competitors. The HDSR series from Degelman Industries is engineered tough. Visit our website for more information.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
All right, welcome back, Henderson Field. A little light drizzle now out on the field as we're at the bottom of the fifth inning. Wind kind of changing direction straight out of the south, kind of the southwest. Pitching change, that's Tyson Sunby in there for Hillsboro Central Valley. His first pitch is a ball to the number 6 batter, Anton Elbrecht, leading things off in the bottom of the fifth inning. Fifth and final inning in the fourth game of the day. And that ball is high. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Anton Elbrecht. Wind gust picking up, the rain falling, and coming in the window. Wind from that south, right out of the south. So 2 balls and 2 strikes from Sunby. Punches him out. So a strikeout for Tyson Sunby. 3 strikeouts in the game for Hillsboro Central Valley. 2 strikeouts by Duffner. And now Sunby picks up a strikeout. So Glenn Goodsell, the number 7 batter, left fielder. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count here from Sunby. Ball high and outside for ball 2. 2-1 does count. Sunby delivers, works pretty quick out of the off the mound. 3 balls and 1 strike here to Glenn Goodsell. Midway-Minto looking to walk this one off as he draws the walk now. Tying runs on board here. Glenn Goodsell draws the walk. So Goodsell with the walk. Anton Elbrecht led things off for Midway-Minto with a strikeout. So runner on first and 1 out. From Sunby, that's outside for a strike. It's the outside corner of the plate on Blake Lisakowski, the number 8 batter. Lisakowski there, Sunby checks the runner. It's a good sell at first. Bunt, or attempted bunt by Blake Lisakowski. So 0-2's your count on Lisakowski. Lisakowski with a double in the second inning, leading things off. That ball hit to the shortstop, gets through the gap. The runner's at first and second. Now the winning run's on board. Tying run at second base. So runner now in scoring position with 1 out. Lisakowski with the single. Brings up Aiden English with an RBI on a fielder's choice in the second inning, and then drew a walk. Shows bunt, that's outside. Throw down to first. And Richter looking to set something off after that throw down by the catcher, trying to catch that runner on second base, but nothing going on that. Here's Aiden English now. 1 ball, no strikes. Puts down the bunt. Nice bunt here by English. Nobody covering first. And all bases loaded up as Midway-Minto playing a little small ball. Aiden English with the single, the infield single off the bunt. Runners will advance. So bases loaded, 1 out. Brings up the top of the order there, Andy Pulak. So Pulak down in the count now, 0-1 to Sunby. So time called out by the umpire. 0-1 count. There's a hit down first baseman. He's going to go home on the force out. Gets the runner at home. Now 2 outs. So 2 outs. Base is still loaded up on the fielder's choice. Pulak gets to first. Goodsell is out for the second out. It brings up Estefano Manata. Manata with a single and a walk struck out in the second inning. Drew a walk in the first, a single in the fourth. First pitch is a ball. He drives that one over to right field. That's down the right field line and out of play. So your count now 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That's down in the dirt, chases it, low and away. There's Manata. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that's in the dirt. Runners will hold, so good job by the catcher. Keeping that ball in front of him, so Lashuk doing a good job blocking that pitch. That could have brought the winning run across, or the tying run across. Right now, 5-4 lead for Hillsboro Central Valley. They do have the winning run on second. The tying run's on third. Base is loaded. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sunby looks in, shakes off the first sign. From the stretch, throws it in there, punches him out, caught looking on the outside corner for the strikeout. Here's Tyson Sunby, picks up the save. And that'll do it there as Hillsboro Central Valley will hang on to win by a score of 5-4. Here Tyson Sunby comes in with the save for Hillsboro Central Valley. In Midway-Minto in that inning, Anton Obrecht led things off with a strikeout. Glenn Goodsell drew a walk, able to make his way to second base. He is put out in the fielder's choice off a hit by Andy Pulak. And then the third out recorded here on that strikeout by Estefano Manata. So that'll do it for the game in 5 innings here. Hillsboro Central Valley hangs on to win this one by a score of 5-4. We'll come back, wrap things up, and then get you set up for game number 5 here. And that one between Midway-Minto and the Enderlin Eagles.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hey, welcome back here to Hendrickson Field as that light drizzle continues to fall here. You're in Enderlin, North Dakota. They're out there fixing up the mounds, getting ready for our 5th game of the evening as your final score, Hillsboro Central Valley over Midway-Minto Mustangs by a score of 5-4. Bring up your HTC connection of the game. Discover your local reliability you can trust at Halstead Telephone Company. It's how to connect at halsteadtel.com. And HTC connection of the game is going out to the pitchers there for Hillsboro Central Valley. And Duffner, Mitzel, and Sunby combining for the win today. Duffner led things off going 3 1/3 innings. Mitzel came in for 2/3, and then Sunby with the save, preserving that victory 5-4. So that's your HTC connection of the game. going out to Duffner, Mitzel, and Sunby. They're combining for that victory for Hillsboro Central Valley, the 5-4 win. And then your Enbridge Energy player of the game, Life Takes Energy from Enbridge. So your Enbridge Energy player of the game, that's going out to Hillsboro Central Valley's Braden Chenol. Chenol going 3 for 3 in the game. Had 2 singles and a double for Hillsboro Central Valley. So he is your Enbridge Energy player of the game. That's going out to Braden Chenol of Hillsboro Central Valley. Going 3 for 3 in this game. And then your Agassiz Egg Precision play of the game. So your Agassiz Egg Precision play of the game, your local planning precision dealer at Agassiz Precision Egg in Hillsboro. Call 701-436-2119 or visit plannerdoc.com. And that is going out individually to the starting pitcher for Hillsboro Central Valley. And that one goes out to Alexander Duffner. Duffner, the junior, coming in, pitched 3 1/3 innings with a strikeout and gave up 3 runs. But he, with that pitching performance, able to preserve the win or help Hillsboro Central Valley to the win for your Agassiz Egg Precision play of the game. That's Agassiz Precision Egg. And that's going out to Alexander Duffner of Hillsboro Central Valley. And that'll wrap things up here for our 4th game. Hillsboro Central Valley wins this one by a score of 5-4. We'll come back in about 10 minutes and close this one out with our 5th game of the evening between Midway-Minto and the Enderlin Eagles.